You got one life, for crying out loud. You might as well just give it all you got.
The Deej, Dan Jordan.
Your daily dose of reality. Your daily dose of the Deej.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I need my daily dose of the Deej.
I make the news. I don't watch the news. I'm a leader.
The Sales Energizer, Dan Jordan.
Listen, don't worry how to sell, baby. Worry about why people buy. And it's fun.
You don't need a 5-hour energy. All you need is the Sales Energizer.
Just when I think it's not going to be as fun as the one before, each one gets successfully better. What's the word I'm looking for? What's it going to take to get you into this car today, huh?
And now, please welcome the Sales Energizer, Dan Jordan.
Boom! That's exactly it. Do that. Let's do that. Chris Stone, my man.
Dan Jordan, the Sales Energizer.
I always want to get that about. And now, I mean, you really feel like I'm about to come into Madison Square Garden or something like it. It's like it revs you up.
Oh man, see, and I love that this is in the middle of the week, in the middle of the middle day of the week. But for you, you've been up for 18 hours already, right?
Yeah, that's right. I get more done before 9 a.m. than most people get done all day. I am like the United States military. I tell you, when it gets warmer out, it's just so much easier to get out of bed. You know,
except for the pollen,
and then you might as well. Heck, I'm already up. You know, it's 3:30. What the heck? You can do that. You can walk around. So I'm in the Southern Command today.
Yeah, I mean,
that's right. So I got kicked out of the muzzle command. You know, the people who are watching this on Amazon know that we do a big job with the visors, because I thought it's so great because people could see your face and you could still do it. Well, the muzzle office building wouldn't allow it. They wanted that. And so here I am. I came to Southern Command. And but good news, because we're going to learn about all this stuff. I'm forced to stay down because my wife doesn't want me to come up and down. And so I got everything prepared. So this is why Amazon is so good. You can incorporate your entire life with these. So here I am now at the new office, but I don't want to go up and down the stairs. So I have my right there, you see, right on my desk, I have my Instant Pot. So in the morning, you wake up in the morning, you put your stuff in there, and then when it's lunchtime, like as soon as we're done with this show, I'm digging in. It's already warm.
And the incredible thing, and those of you who are watching on all of the tubes right now, because Dan Jordan is, I mean, if there's a place to put a video and have Dan Jordan in it, whether it's the Sales Energizer, the cold call guy, the pitch man, it's going to be in it. And people are viewing on Facebook, they're viewing on LinkedIn, they're viewing on YouTube, they're viewing on Twitter, and all kinds of other tubes that, shall not be mentioned. But the place to be, Dan, is on your Amazon live stream, which is getting some crazy views. You and I have had, and so if you're watching right now and you don't know what Amazon Live is, stay tuned, because we've got two just killer Amazon influencers on the program that'll tell you why you should be doing it, how you should be doing it, and why the heck they let Dan Jordan in the building, because now he's crushing it just like he is for everything else as the pitchman. But Dan, your site is at thepitchman.live. If you go over to thepitchman.live, it'll send you right there on Amazon. And listen, if you wanted to buy an Instant Pot,
as long as you're there, you might as well follow.
And if you wanted to buy an Instant Pot and you were watching on Facebook, we'll make it easy for you. Just go over to Amazon and at thepitchman.live, put it in your cart, and Dan gets a little, he gets a couple of, shekels, so there's nothing wrong with that.
Hey, Jerry K started following. Jerry, my man. We've been waiting for you. It's about time, Big Jerry.
Jerry K, an Amazon customer. Amazon customers, we get a new person named Amazon customer every time we go live on Amazon. And I think you got to go into your settings, Amazon customer. But let us know in the chat
And
who you are, Amazon customer. And if you're over on Amazon, I don't know, you get a little special treatment, I think, but we are getting some great views here. We've got Saxy B, Saxy Butler, excellent, over on LinkedIn. Thanks for joining us. And of course, Queen
Ricky.
Kalani.
What about my man Ricky? Is he here?
Yeah, Ricky's here.
Ricky's in the house.
He's
right,
viewing it on his Instant Pot.
Here's something important though, because on this show we're going to talk not only about this stuff, but how to actually get Amazon to pay you instead of you always paying them. And you guys may or may not know this, but my man Chris Stone here also has another show, Dealcasters, that he does with our next guest. So why don't you introduce him, and then we can do the whole shebang, so Ricky could be happy.
Exactly.
It's all about Ricky.
That's right. It always is. But today it's about this gentleman who is, one of my great friends. And we're honored to have retired Marine Lieutenant Colonel turned digital marketing consultant, speaker, live streamer, podcaster, remote live stream, virtual event producer, 30 years in the business. And of course, the co-host of Dealcasters at Dealcasters Live. Would you please welcome the president of Fusion Marketing, my friend, Mr. Jim Fuhs.
I
feel like I'm on a roller coaster.
I don't know what's wrong with you people. It's like you have to do it right when they do. You can keep them up 2 seconds ahead of time. I mean, it's okay.
My arms might get tired. I'm 55 now.
It's all about preparation.
Exactly.
Are you 55 too?
Yeah.
Oh, you're just like the Deej. How do you keep your hair the same color as it was? Teaching me something new.
It's called good genes.
Good genes. Oh, I got these jeans. These things.
Skinny jeans?
Not in the carousel.
They're like stretchy things now.
Thank God he's wearing jeans.
It's so good. You can gain weight like nobody's business, right. And it doesn't matter. So they're really good. Yes, I got you. That was the old joke. Okay, I was like my first joke that I taught my kids that they screwed up. And so the joke is this: how do you tell a boy chromosome from a girl chromosome? And the answer is you pull down their genes. So my son, all excited to tell the joke, so he goes, how do you tell a boy chromosome from a girl? He goes, pull down their pants. I'm like, oh, you were so close, it just
so close.
Just missed it. That was all because you said Gene. DJ missed the shirtless Fuhs last night. Well, listen, it's still early. The guy is one of those types. All right, so Jim Fuhs, what a lot of people don't realize is that you actually can earn money. I learned about this whole Amazon Live from you and Chris, because the first thing is you were telling me, and you always sounded so good when you talked. What microphone are you guys using?
It's the Samsung Q2U, which just happens to be in the carousel over on Amazon. And let me tell you, and I plug it into my Focusrite. It's like I don't have to worry. That's right. It's so consistent. If anything goes wrong, it's probably my computer or my internet, and then it's just a matter of restarting stuff.
So let me just interrupt for a second. So this is what happened. I'm talking to Jim Fuhs, and he starts rolling into his. Now I'm like, what's going on? He goes, Deej, every time I talk about this stuff, it goes on Amazon, and I could earn some money on it, and people buy it. And I said, this is crazy. And so everybody can do this. How does somebody get started on this?
Well, the biggest thing is they've got to actually have a social following. I would say that's the one, it's not really everybody, but if you've grown, a social following on Twitter or YouTube, Facebook business, or Instagram, you have there's a chance. Now, as you know, Deej, right? The first time you applied, they said no, but you stuck with it, right? You wish LinkedIn Live would listen to Amazon maybe. Yeah. But that's the big thing. But go with the platform that you truly are engaging on. They're not even judging people have you done a lot of live video? Because we've met some influencers, they're now trying to figure out the live piece because they can go live. So really, right, you start out as that Amazon associate where you can get affiliate links to begin with. Once you get in that influencer program, though, and especially if you go live, it's Chris and I, Chris and I did a talk at, the VidFest pre-week for this last Podfest Expo. And what do we call it, Chris? It was like burn your affiliate links and go live
Burn
on
your
Amazon.
affiliate links. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
taking your affiliate links and injecting them with like some steroids that was available in an Avengers movie. It's like if you've ever had affiliate links, and a lot of people have, and they bury them in their podcast show notes, or they bury them on their YouTube, or they spend all of their time trying to monetize themselves on YouTube, which is not a bad thing. But once you lean into Amazon Live, you'll realize how quickly you can start to make that money, and how quickly that can turn into something that is making money while you sleep. And Deej, you know this, man.
Right. Well, so some people, what you need to do is, kind of get started. You just open up an Amazon store. Mm-hmm. Just start with that. And so, because I don't know this for a fact, but I think if you have an Amazon store first, they probably take that into consideration if you want to start doing this, this live thing. You want to go, oh, look, Jordan Favor's in the house on the tube of you. So I've been trying for that. By the way, Favor, I know this guy knew me. He's my son's friend. When I had like 400 followers on YouTube, and everybody was mocking me out, and I said I got to get to 1,000. Jordan Favor immediately went and joined. So Jordan Favor, what you did yesterday means nothing. Now you have to go to Amazon and follow me there.
That's right. Just go to pitchman.live, right? And
go to pitchman.live.
Mm-hmm.
So how does somebody choose what to sell?
I think the biggest thing is sell what you're already comfortable with, right? I mean, Chris and I already are always asked a lot about tech for podcasting, live streaming. So it's just kind of a natural thing, but we also like interviewing people. So it's not always about, just talking about stuff. You can be extremely creative. I mean, at the top of the hour, I'm helping my new friend, Denise, Carabel. She's going to do a show on Amazon. She's called Artist at Heart Paint Party, on how these people can basically paint their own spring bicycle project for their kids. And she's going to have all the art supplies you need to do it in the carousel. And so it's going to be a combination.
You keep talking about this carousel. A lot of people don't know what this carousel is. What do you mean?
Yeah, so the carousel is when you're live, as you can see what he's showing here. Underneath there is the items that are either the influencer is going to talk about or is related to what they're talking about, because we don't always get to all of them. So, there's the art supplies. You go in there, you buy those art supplies. And then if as an influencer, the nice thing about this is if I click on, say those paintbrushes, and I've now got the cookie, as we like to call it, the cookies and milk. And if I buy anything, right, and Chris and I have sold some pretty crazy stuff that we've never talked about, anything that person buys for the next 24 hours, you get affiliate revenue from Amazon. Now, mind you, it's not like Amazon is charging these people more, right? It's still, the item's still the same price. So it's really rewarding you for helping guide people as to make purchase decisions. But, we've sold tires, we've sold cereal. I know there's some other crazy stuff.
You sold cereal?
Yeah, we sold cereal.
Yeah, so that's because they just go on.
I hope it wasn't Cinnamon Toast Crunch, though.
So I think Ricky is asking, are the commissions a flat percentage or do they vary?
They definitely vary.
I do it for the love of my audience.
I think you do it for the love of Vitamix. I think you do it for the love of Vitamix, but it varies. I mean, I think there's some that are under 2. I think there goes, I would say, from 1 to 10%. Most of what Chris and I talk about is probably in the 2 to 4% category. They'll sometimes run specials, and they call them bounties. Like if somebody signs up for an Audible account, as an example, for a paid one, you get like a one-time bonus kind of thing like that. But I think the other powerful thing is you do get to have this shop. And I know you've started to do this, Dan. You can do product reviews, post it on your shop. And once you get up to a certain number of videos approved by Amazon, those can start appearing on product pages.
Wait, product reviews like a book review?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if we had a real producer, he would put up one that I would automatically have done already.
Every show. And this will actually answer Patrick Tinney all the way from Buckhorn, our favorite Buckhornian in the house, author of Bonus Round. So here's what we're going to do. Patrick, lean in, my friend. Lean in. This is going to this might blow your mind.
By the way, that's the Pitchman. Did you see that? The Pitchman.live. You see how easy it is to get there and follow?
What's not easy right now is getting the screen share to work. That'll work. Let me clean this up. If you guys had a real producer, this would be a lot cleaner. So Patrick, check this out. This is what others see when they hit your storefront as an Amazon Live influencer. So we have this a little inception going on. So we're currently broadcasting on Amazon. And so on the Pitchman's shop page is this. So we're seeing all kinds of weird inception. All the products are here, but in your shop page, you create shoppable photos. And so each one of these photos, here's Dan juggling before his cooking show.
Every Saturday we do Cooking with Christy, and she's not hard to look at, and so we always get more views on those days. I bet if we had Patrick Tinney on there, it would just blow the roof.
Oh God, that would be awesome. Patrick, what's your favorite thing to cook? That would be actually really awesome. But every Saturday we do that, and it's crazy. So not only that, so this is what you guys are talking about, right?
Right.
You can create influencer videos on your shop page. And so when you create as an influencer, when you create 10 or more, these videos start showing up on those product pages. And it just so happens we've had a book by a gentleman, Dan, I think his name is Patrick Tinney, right?
Oh, Pete Tinney.
And his latest book, The Bonus Round, available on Amazon, has been on many an Amazon Live show, currently in the carousel. Fantastic book, right? And you could buy other great books while you're there. Of course, we're following Patrick Tinney already. Boom.
That's right.
Think and Grow Rich.
Patrick Tinney is following the deeds yet on Pitchman.live because
look here. Look, we have a product video live on Patrick Tinney's page.
But you can't.
Now, I don't have the sound turned on. Again, this wasn't planned. Maybe a real producer would just read your mind. But this is Dan Jordan, the Pitchman, Sales Energizer, talking about an amazing book, which is about corporate sales. But Dan, when I read it, I got so many nuggets outside of just the corporate sales theme of this book, because Patrick has a massive history in business in general, and I got all kinds of great things from it.
Yep.
So that's a long-winded answer of saying yes, you can sell your bloody books on Amazon. And the good news is, by the way, is that a real background that we're looking at there, Jim Fuhs, or is that
This is actually a vinyl brick wall. And we talked about last night, and I bought it on Amazon, but we talked about last night, we're going to go a step further. You can get peel and stick wallpaper also on Amazon, all types of different backs. You can make it look like, rustic wood. You can go with the, stone look. You can go with different types of brick.
Yeah.
And because it's peel and stick, if you get tired of it, you can always peel it off and go back to something else. But now I'll be able to hang things on my wall because with the vinyl I'm kind of worried I'm going to tear it because it's actually not mounted to the wall.
That's why. So it's just dangling there?
Yes. Dangling with push pins.
That's good that I'm not the only fake person here. That's good. Well, see, this is good for people. You can actually literally create your own personality. And you could start from zero and bring a new. So even someone horrifically boring like Jordan Favor, he too can have his own show. Who knows what could happen?
Anything is possible.
Stretchy jeans. So you guys also have Dealcasters. You could also promote your podcast there as well.
Yeah.
But the idea is here, just basically, I have about 1,000 followers on YouTube. It's very embarrassing. You can't. You work your brains out to grow up to get 1,000, and you still can't monetize it. But even if you could monetize it, after 10 years, I even little me have been able to earn more in 2 weeks, and I'm a putz by any definition, than I have in 10 years trying to monetize the tube
on
of
YouTube. Yeah.
So,
Well, you kind of hit on it, right? You had to look at the journey to get to 1,000 subscribers. And granted, there are ways to monetize before that on YouTube, but and all of this stuff takes work, right? Even to come on here, right? You've got to come up with your show format. You've got to, you got to be consistent. You got to make sure that people are watching. You got to be engaging. But it takes longer. So it's just like you can do both, right? But now you're going to get visibility. And I think, Dan, you've actually had this happen with you, because you're in the largest online shopping mall, at least in America, because I think Alibaba might be bigger. You are getting companies that are interested in you talking about their products on your show.
It's just like that's how you make videos to talk. Like I'm a big fan of the Blue Parrot, which is available down there below. I'm sure what it is, but I made a video for them. I talked about it, and then I contacted them. And then you contact them, and then if they're happy, and they sent me a couple of them, and we have a little deal working on with this. But the point is, find something that works, that you like, that's really good, and if you make the effort ahead of time to proactively promote their product, then let them show it. It's a lot easier to get sponsors that way to do that. And so we have a guest coming on later who's going to tell us all about that and what he does with sponsors. But again, and you could do this as a kid in college, or as a side gig. Like you said, it's the biggest mall in the world, or it's the biggest mall in America, and there's like so many empty stores. Mm-hmm. You could take the narrowest type of thing.
Exactly.
And Jim proves you don't even need a personality. What you need is just go out there and do it.
Just take your shirt off.
All right, gentlemen, because we are live on Amazon, and this is one of the things, Jim, that, as we get back into kind of the process of it and why someone should do it, we're, I'm poking in on this, on the Amazon chat, but, Dan, he's a bit of a squirrel, so he needs a Chris Stone to kind of work with. And so I kind of man the chat, and in the chat, Dan,
loves speed.
Success loves speed, baby. Success loves speed. And that'll be available very soon on Amazon. But Dan, stay-at-home mom is in the house. Of course, Ricky. Ricky's in the house. She says happy Wednesday. And Jim, our friend, and Dan, you need to meet this guy as well. Phil Hill. Phil Hill knows smart home tech. Go and follow him on Amazon as well. You want to, smart home tech, security, all kinds of stuff, how you can work it in with your voice activated devices. I won't say her name that starts with A because I have a few in front of me and it'll trigger all kinds of stuff. But Phil Hill, thanks for joining us on Amazon. The people who are following us right now on Amazon, thank you so much for doing that. If you are watching somewhere else, if you're watching on LinkedIn, or if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, Jordan just followed us on Amazon. So he's in there. So that's where the party is, right, Dan? That's where we go and do fun stuff.
Versus the Joker that I have right now, who's up in North Carolina playing in the woods with this new machine of his. It's the coolest thing in the world. Gosh, wait till we get out that. I'm thinking Harley. Yeah, very nice.
We should do a Pitchman show on June's Harley. I mean, seriously. And Phil Hill jumped on his Harley and went live on his Amazon live show.
I've been trying to find out. Here's a question I have for Jim Fuhs, given that you are the guest. If it weren't for my, my deep understanding and experience as an interviewer, Chris Stone would just let you flop around in the breeze with your vinyl brick wall behind you. So what, Phil, here's an issue. I was trying to find Phil Hill's show. And you go all over. I mean, you drive yourself batty. Yeah, here I am on Google, and then I go into Amazon, I put it on, and it goes nowhere. It's like impossible to find it. How do I find a show? Even if I know the name of it, I can't find the show.
Well, Phil has the challenge. Yeah, Phil has the challenge that the way they set him up, he's got like it's an influencer dash and a bunch of code. So we have to help him with that. But what we did, which is really simplified it, and you've done the same thing, is we bought a domain name, right? .live. And so Phil, I would recommend should do something similar. And then it would just be, hey, go to, Phil Hill, knows tech.live, and you can redirect it to your most current show. That to me is really the way to make things simple, right? Make it easy for people, come up with that memorable name, get it out there, because otherwise, right, I don't even like my shop name because it's like amazon.com/shop, and then it's my Twitter handle, which isn't spelled the way people would spell normally. So we've actually, and we're in the process, we just bought dealcasters.shop. So we may start using that to redirect people to the storefront so they can see our shoppable photos and our videos and things like that. So you want to get creative, right? Because one thing that I've enjoyed working with Chris is, we've created this Dealcasters brand out of what started out, with my, Fusion Marketing Twitter account. We've now created this brand with Dealcasters, like you're starting to do with the Pitchman, because it really is like its own unique, animal in a sense. And I think that's when it makes it easy for people to find. I mean, if you go on Google and type in Dealcasters, it's probably the first 2 or 3 pages of Google. It's us.
Mm. And what's your biggest thing that you sell on Dealcasters? Like, what's your hot item?
It really depends. I mean, we sold 60 Roku sticks last year, and we never talked about them. We've sold a lot of Garmin watches. Depending on if we have a book author on, we'll sell some of their books. It's really all over the place. I mean, I think we consistently talk about tech, and we've also we've even started to get our very small fan club that we love dearly. We're starting to see Dealcasters shirts pop up throughout the world.
Dealcasters in the night, afternoon delight. That's awesome.
So Dan. So speaking, I'm sorry to interrupt, but speaking of Dealcaster shirts, I know. Listen, I'm sorry. That's going to cost us clicks later. That's going to cost us some cookie crumbs on the. On the Amazon show. But we do have another guest who's here in the green room that I would love to introduce. And while we have the president of Fusion Marketing, Mr. Jim Fuhs, but known better as the man who sometimes takes his shirt off at Dealcasters After Dark, my co-host Jim Fuhs, we have another guest that we need to introduce so we can take this into another level as well. And so without further ado, I would like to introduce to you the man who is a top 14 content marketer, top 24 digital marketer, top 100 CX thought leader, live streamer, and of course, author of the new book, Going Live, Live Stream Your Podcast to Reach More People. Would you please welcome to Dan Jordan Live, Mr. Christoph Trappe.
You didn't, what's wrong? Arms in the air.
Yeah, like you're at a football team game.
Let's go.
Or Hawkeyes.
I am not taking my shirt off, gentlemen, because the
Thank
crowd would be going wild.
I was warned that you are known for your nudity, so that was the whole thing. We're all there.
He's known for his Roomba cams.
Yes. So I'm so glad to meet you here because I've been following you on Amazon Live where you do that thing with the vacuum and you put the cam on it and it just goes around the room all day. And you actually reply back to people. And I'm thinking, where is he? He's not on the room.
No, I'm not. I'm literally not going on a ride on the thing. And it's not a Roomba, but that's fantastic branding for Roomba.
Okay.
Dream Tech, which is a different brand. Same thing. It's right there behind me. See it right there? It's waiting.
Also live in the carousel.
Yep. Check it out.
If you're on Amazon.
It's definitely worth checking out. But I do have some news. I have to reimagine it. And I'll tell you what, it's been highly successful to do the Roomba cam. And I don't know how many, let's see if I can see this. I was trying to pull this up as you guys were throwing numbers around. I don't know how many, I've shipped items 3,300. I don't know. So there could be, there's probably hundreds of vacuum cleaners in here. That
Did I ever tell you that I gave a speech once for a convention? It was a vacuum cleaner convention.
Yeah.
It sucked.
Why?
Oh, come on. That's
Dan's attempt at being a
Gotcha.
I was looking at numbers. I get it. However, Amazon told me just yesterday, they said the user experience is not as high as it could be on the Roomba cams. So we will start flagging them. So I think what that means, so here's what I think it means. I can still do it, but I just have to do split screen or maybe triple screen. Here's my idea. I'm going to try it. It's more work. They just want me to do more stuff. Roomba cam on one. Now you got me going, Dan. Knock it off.
I'm with you, baby.
Let's go.
DreamTech cam. DreamTech, not Roomba. So I got the robot vacuum cleaner cam going. On the second screen, it's me working, and then when people ask questions, I can come on the mic and go, "Yes, it's doesn't suck, haha, whatever." And then on the third cam, I can have the map for the vacuum cleaner. Do you know what I mean? So that's interactive.
Yeah. The mapping thing is really cool. But you sound really good. What mic are you using?
Better be in the carousel, guys.
It is.
It's in my carousel too. If you scroll over there,
look at this. Yeah,
it's a USB one, and then this is another one I do. It's ways over on that stream, and then the other stream I do. There's the vacuum cleaner cam, and I'm telling you, there's some days it has like 10,000 views.
Yeah, it's very, they say it's not a good user experience. It's like white noise. It's like listening to the ocean. When I watch your video, I feel like I'm on a beach in someplace in the South Pacific, just relaxing to the sound and the breeze of the warm sunshine on your DreamTech vacuum cleaner.
I still think he needs to put a pug on there.
Yeah, put a little out. But that's awesome. How did you get started with this thing, and how did you hook up with the DreamTech people to go ahead and do this?
Well, Jim and Chris, man, they're just relentless. They were on my podcast, and I said, I hear about Amazon Life. Doesn't seem to be worth any of my time. What do you guys think? And they came on my podcast and really just ripped me apart and told me what I need to do and what I shouldn't do and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. So this is right before Thanksgiving. And I'm like, fine, I'll do a Black Friday thing. I went live for 4 hours, had, 44 people watching, made maybe 14 cents. And I'm like, well, this is totally worth my time. And of course it wasn't. And then once you get to the insider level, of course, it is a little bit more worth your time. DreamTech, I don't know how we connected. They reached out and they said, "Hey, you want a DreamTech vacuum cleaner?" And so we did have a brand deal, which included like a couple of things early on. But currently, it's not technically a brand deal anymore. Like we don't have any ongoing relationship, but I still have the product, so I still run it around around the house. But they send it to me, and I'm like, well, I guess I don't know anything about it. So that happens more and more, and it sounds awesome, but I'm telling you guys, be careful what brand you work with. Be careful what your terms are. People sending me stuff. That's a fun idea. Going like BattleBots. Yeah, awesome. And the bumpers against each other. And I sometimes have brands reach out and they want to refund me after I buy it. I'm like, I don't think so. I don't even know if it's a good product. So usually for me, it's a red flag if the brand doesn't want to send me the product, if they don't want to pay me, and don't even want to really talk to me. So, but yeah, I think it's been a fantastic ride. Definitely interesting, trying new things and connecting with people too, and I streamed like 63 hours, 70 hours last month.
Wow. Well, we want to help more people get into it and learn how to do this. Do you have any books or anything available? Again, Chris Stone is supposed to have all these things in the carousel. Who knows what's going on?
Do I need to share my screen to show that we are highlighting the book? We can absolutely do that. But yeah, Christoph, we should talk about this book because I know it was something, man, you go live a ton already anyway. But, we were lucky enough to have you on Dealcasters to talk about this book. And I'm going to get this Inception look off the screen. And so tell us about the book. I know that there's also somebody else that contributed to the book, and I guess tell us about the journey here and what it's been like to help people to actually live stream their podcast and maybe get past the idea of, oh, I've got to edit this, I've got to do this, I've got to do this. You've got so much going on. You figured a way to, I was telling Dan earlier, what you do is, people think you don't sleep. People think that you just, don't have a life. You do. You have a life. You've got a family. You enjoy life, but you do all of these things. So you've found ways to live stream your podcast, which is a way to cut this workflow out of editing and things like that. And I think this book helps to tell that story.
Chris, thank you so much. And I definitely have an Amazon Live. Haha. Dan, got it? Did you get it? Did you get
it? You're a rookie, but it's okay.
Okay. I'm working on it.
How come I have not been on your podcast? Do you know how good I am on podcasts? I mean, ask Ricky.
All right. Well, we'll connect afterwards. I'll see if I can fit you in. So anyway, going live. So here's what happens, guys. Everybody is doing a podcast. All these companies are doing podcasts. And then here's what happens. All this work goes in. They edited it. They did this. They reviewed it. Blah, blah, blah. They put it through approval hell. And then they got 20 downloads. 20 downloads. I just saw the number. You have 30 current viewers. So you're probably going to end up, I don't know with how many viewers, probably like 8,000 or something like that after an hour. But that's 30 just right this second, guys. So my point is, when you live stream your podcast, you can increase reach. And especially in a world where everybody measures everything, if you can go back to the executive team and you can say, hey, look, my podcast had 8,000 listens. That's a lot better than saying 20. You know what I'm saying? And then they go, and one of them is me and one of them is my admin or whatever. So that's why I think it's a fantastic tool to improve your reach. And the other thing is, people need to stop the over editing. I mean, we haven't said anything horrible yet. I mean, Dan is working on his jokes. I'm working on mine as well. But do you know what I'm saying? Like, what have we said that needs to be edited? I mean, seriously, nothing.
And what happened is, what I found out yesterday when we did, during the cooking shows, we have the chop cam. And so, you're always running the risk of messing up or doing some all sorts of stuff. Yesterday, you do this Amazon Live on your phone, and you could go out and mobile and do all sorts of stuff. And you're going to make mistakes. So things are going to fall. Those are the best parts. That's what people like, And so, don't over edit, for crying out loud. Go fast, and go fast. What is it again? Success loves speed. It loves motion. Even if you make a mistake, you can turn around and redouble back and get to where you're going before people even get started.
Yeah. So what's interesting about your comment too is I was just thinking about that. I live stream grilling. We go out and grill. Yeah. I live stream the grilling, and people watch it, and people buy grills. Why not do it? So I think to get started, though, honestly, you just kind of have to get over the hurdle. So think about it this way. I just think of this as a conversation. You and I are just talking. We're hanging out. We're just having a conversation. There's some things I'm not going to say, certainly, but there's, we're just having fun. We're trying to talk about the topic. And just think about it that way. And then when you start with your equipment, I know Chris and Jim are, hot on the whole, have the right equipment. And you do need the right equipment. But when you first get started, just as long as you have your phone, start with that. And then later, a few episodes in, buy a better mic, buy a better ring light, buy a 4K camera. I didn't start with that because it was too much to think about. And now I got my iPad Pro here, and I produce on my iPad Pro. I monitor over here. I do this over here. Like, don't start there. Like, I didn't do that the first 100 episodes or whatever. And then just kind of jump in, really have a good conversation, invite guests on and go from there.
And I think you do a really good creative job of I've talked to you about this when you run, you take the shots. And so I like the concept, and some other people have copied your concept. That only, you should be flattered by that. What that is, you will fire up Amazon Live while you're editing a podcast, or while you're doing something, because you do a lot of other things. Fire up Amazon Live. You've got maybe one eye on the chat. So if anybody has, and you've got your chair, and you're working on it, and then you just kind of let everybody know, hey, if you've got any questions on the stuff that I use, that I like, that are in, and I popped in, as I do with a lot of other Amazon Live content creators, and I saw that you had an under the desk treadmill. And I was like, I've been thinking about that. So now's my opportunity to ask Christoph Trappe about it. And I think the mentality is, you're the expert in the biggest mall of the world, and you own this thing. And now you're not a fitness expert, maybe, but you use this, you like it. This is a part of your thing. If somebody's got a question, you're going to answer it. This is a cool chair. You like it. You've used it. Somebody's going to say, hey, tell me about the chair. Do you like it? And then once you see that, you're answering their questions, and it's just a part of your workflow. And I think it's very smart to, if you want to take your shots, to integrate it in your existing workflow. Nothing has to be, go through everything and make everything perfect necessarily. Fire up the camera, hit play, and then learn from it. And then you can polish it as you get better at it.
You get much better. You get better. You don't get great by learning how to be great. You get great by doing. And so you figure it out as you go along. By the way, if you're watching this and you're not following yet, give it a shot. It's like, you can feel good about yourself. My whole thing in life is I'm trying to help you feel better about yourself. And here's a free way. You don't have to drive anywhere. You don't have to do anything. It doesn't to click. I mean, you're probably going to scratch something on your body in the next 2 seconds. It's the same motion. You just got to do that. You're all done. All right. So Christoph, so you in the real world, you're a marketing dude, right? So your expertise, here's an issue. A lot of people like myself have created a lot of content over the years. I just got a lot of stuff. I got blogs. I got, I've got podcasts. I've got videos all over the place. And how can I repurpose these things so they get out? Where can I put them out so they get more reach to draw people to whatever I'm liking to do?
Well, the first thing is you have to write what's currently working. So, for example, I'm convinced that Amazon reached out to me about the cam because they saw me doing it like every moment when I could. So I'm literally riding, the vacuum cleaner right into the sunlight in the sunrise or sunset or whatever. So first of all, you got to do that. And then you got to think about what are you going to repurpose on other channels. So every once in a while, so I'm going to do a show later on. I think it's at 2:08 Central. And I'm pretty confident some of the things they will mention I will be able to use in a blog post I already have. So I'm going to go update that blog post with some of their quotes, put the video in there, and I'm done. I'm not rewriting the whole thing. I'm just updating what I already have. So that's an easy way to repurpose. I'm not a big fan of cutting up the episodes. Sometimes I do, but I've had some success on Instagram Reels. But I don't usually do that. I usually turn it into like the written word. I definitely use it as a podcast episode. And the other thing I know, I saw Utechpia here saying something. I don't know where it went. Thanks for joining us. And you got a lot of comments. That's awesome. Hard to keep track.
Well, it's because Ricky's drawing them in.
Well, ever since Christoph Trappe joined, our chat went through the roof. So thanks for, so the questions here that are popping in, Utechpia, 70 hours in a month. Yeah. That's impressive. And then lots of comments about the under desk treadmill. Of course, Utechpia, his name is David, but Utechpia on Amazon. Go and follow that gentleman. He convinced somehow Jim Fuhs to take his shirt off on Dealcasters live last night on Amazon. And so, he turned me on to the, he was talking to me about the treadmill. I went and saw your video. And so, none of that happens if you don't do what you're doing, which is, figure out a way to incorporate it in what you're doing. And I think a lot of people, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of business people, they get stuck because they can't figure out how to hit the button and go sometimes, not be afraid to make mistakes. Go to the second rep will be better than the first rep, and and treat it like that. And so how do you focus on revenue generating exercises versus what would be pure marketing that, you're not seeing a direct line of revenue from? How do you manage that whole process with so much going on?
It's a fantastic question. So first of all these things are highly revenue generating, right? Which is why I'm doing them nonstop. So I figured that out, obviously, and I think there's value to some people. Some people don't like it, but I see people commenting all the time, about the treadmill, about the vacuum cleaner, about my setup. When I live stream myself working, people go, "Hey, can you say something into the mic? Is this live? Can you say something?" I'm like, "Yeah. What do you think? How does it sound?" Like, it's like I'm customer service, And I'm telling you, we're to the point where my wife will jokingly say, "How come nothing is running?" When she comes home.
Now that's a good woman.
That's a good woman. So those things are highly revenue generating. I think, we're probably close to 400,000, quite frankly, for shipped revenue. So they're much higher revenue generating than my podcast. Now I still have to do my podcast because I want to, and I'm still producing a podcast. But those other things, and I think it's partially because of the length, so I was talking to somebody and he says, "Well, I could do that. But I can't be on the computer all day because I'm on meetings, and I don't have that many meetings. But when I do have meetings, I turn it off, of course, because I don't want to hear people hear us talk about it." The other thing, I want to mention a couple other things quickly. First of all, I'm very thankful to Amazon. So if anybody heard my comments, don't take them out of context. I know some of you are listening with half an ear. I think we're all very grateful that we have Amazon Live as a platform. I certainly have enjoyed it, and looking forward to the future. The other thing, when you talk about these products, guess what happens? The brands start reaching out. So Lifespan has actually reached out to me, and I've had that treadmill since 2007. I don't need another treadmill. I mean, if you have a new treadmill, I'll take it and I'll work with you and try it, but technically I don't need another treadmill right now. Same with this chair. That company reached out to me, and my wife says, "Why do you need a new chair?" And my daughter goes, "I'll take it, or I'll take your old chair." So, but my point is, even if you don't have a brand deal with them, now they know you. Now you're working together to an extent. Like Lifespan says, "Hey, when are you going live again? We want to share it, on our social media." So again, that's whatever, right? I'm getting free promotion from them to build my audience, even if we don't have a deal. So there is value in all those different things.
I think that's right. And you've got to keep on doing all the other social media, but lead them to the venue that's earning the money. Lead them. So, it used to be that, Amazon, you would do your blog to get people to your podcast, and your podcast to get people to your company. Get people to your Amazon. Have people follow. And if you haven't followed,
and it's also, there's different ways. There's different revenue streams, right? So Amazon is direct sale, of course, but my podcast isn't necessarily direct sale. It's, you have sponsored content, you have sponsored appearances, sponsorships, all those different things. So they generate revenue too. It's just not a direct sale. Somebody's buying the AirPods after they just saw me wear them.
Well, let me just ask, do you like, in actuality, do you like that vacuum? Like, would you get it if it wasn't, if you weren't being sponsored by it at the beginning?
That's always a fantastic question. So I don't remember if I'm not allowed to say anything negative. I like it. I really do. Yeah. And I would run it even if I wasn't going live. Now, the biggest question that I wonder is, what's the right price range? Do you know what I mean? There's vacuum cleaners out there for $800. There's some out there for $80. Or 180. Mine is like a little bit in the middle. So that's, I think, the biggest question people need to wonder, what's the right price range and how much do they want to spend? But I run it all the time. I even ran it before I figured out to do the robot vacuum cleaner came. I mean, all the time. It keeps things clean. I like it. I like it. I don't have to do the vacuum cleaning, you know?
That's awesome. So now how do you do it? Do you put a GoPro on there? What do you put on there?
Well, you know what? I don't even know where it is. I didn't bring it down here. It's just a little tripod, you know, one that you can bend. Like it has the little tripod things, and you can bend it
like this.
Yeah, something like that. And then you basically just kind of bent them. Yep, and you find a way to make it work. So that
the camera is a phone or an actual
phone. Camera's a phone. So typically what I do is I just stream directly from the Amazon app. But now since I'm going to have to make it a little bit more higher value or whatever, I'm probably going to just use the Switcher Studio app, and then I'm going to stream it to Switcher, and then I'm going to combine the screens, you know, in the Switcher app, and probably live stream the I got to think about that, how I'm going to do that, but something like that. So it's not going to be from the Amazon app directly on there.
Well, the people on Dealcasters could hook you up with that. But I'm excited about your book. I want to put his book up there again. I mean, because people just need to get started doing something with marketing. And if people needed to get a hold of you, Christoph, for their business or for marketing and stuff, where would they go?
Yeah, AuthenticStorytelling.net works. You can also just go click on that book or check it out on Amazon. It is available. I'm super excited. Kindle, of course, paperback, and it's my first book of my 4 books that's also available in hardcover. The hardcover is like 5 countries: US, UK, Spain, Italy, a couple more. But yeah, it's kind of exciting to hit that milestone with this one as well.
Well, you know, you got to talk about that too. By the way, there were some questions here on I think Saxy wanted to get a hold of me as far as her cooking show. You just reach out to me. We'll hook you up. The cooking show works out well, doesn't it, Christoph?
The cooking show's a hit, you know. It is, but we'll have to be mindful too of you know what Christoph's saying. We have to make sure that we're creating good content, which is, you know, hey, listen, if they just let anyone do anything, it lowers the value. So, you know, we have to realize, right? And I think Christoph does this really well. Is you've got a brand that you can use Amazon to absolutely amplify through live, but it's rented land. And so, you know, your brand, whether it's Authentic Storytelling or, you know, Dan Jordan, Sales Energizer, or Dealcasters or whatever, you got to build those brands on land that you own as well, because you never know when it all goes away and or the rent goes up, so to speak, and you get you know, you're not necessarily in control of everything. You have to stay in the lane. And sometimes they don't really tell us, Christoph, what lane that is, right? But you go and do what you can and protect yourself from a business standpoint and your brand.
And
it's
then
go ahead. They don't tell us what the lane is. So what I actually did really appreciate from the Amazon email is they didn't say you're in violation. They said, in the future, because we want to give you a chance to plan ahead, exactly how you're doing it currently, it's going to be flagged. So what they're literally doing is instead of just shutting it down, they're giving me a heads up, and they're saying, if you're going to keep doing that, you're going to have to step up the production value somehow. Like, I don't know if what I'm planning is going to do the trick. We'll find out. But so again, that's very unusual actually for any platform to give you a heads up, right? But
true.
Usually they would just do it, and then you have to figure it out after the fact. So I do appreciate that for sure. And but you're right, you got to build your castle everywhere. But you also need to ride the horse where it's currently working. So Chris, I think when you came in, when I talked to you and Jim on the show, I made a comment, maybe Clubhouse or something, and I'm like, I'm not wasting any time on Clubhouse right now, man. I'm later on, not at that day, but I'm doing Amazon right now because it's worth it. So if I only, you have to pick your battles and go where it works.
Well, that's exactly right. And you want to, when you have to change, and there's always new stuff, but that's good. That's what happens in America. There's more little opportunities all over the place, and you improvise, adapt, and overcome whatever comes your way. And this is the new thing. So let's just hit it. So everybody out there, all of you out there who have that little, bug in you that you want to get out and be in control of your own destiny, here's a platform that's allowing you to get into business for yourself, and you don't even have to manufacture the product. In fact, you don't even have to call the company up and say, hey, can I distribute your product for you? You simply got to go in, and it costs you nothing to rent the space, to go in there, bring value, give good evidence and good demonstration for products, talk about that which you love, inspire people to do what they're going to do automatically, make some new friends, and the world gets better for everybody. You do that, and there's nothing stopping you and all your neighbors from making this your best year ever. You're the best. I'm the Deej. Eat well, live long, and prosper. Go get them today.